So back in 2023 we had a lot of releases under the retail price of £100 here in the UK, which will make it around 120 US dollars. And in today's video I actually decided to take two of those cheapest releases and compare them. So we actually gonna have the Response CL, which got dropped on the market around 2 years ago if I'm not mistaken. And we're also gonna have the Nike P-6000, which yet again in the last year or 2 years maybe, they actually dropped a lot of color combinations for this model. And by the end of the video, guys, we're gonna compare these two head to head and see which one is better. Hello guys, and welcome back for a brand new review. If you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing and also giving me a like. It will really help out the channel. You can also give me a follow on Instagram and TikTok to see exactly what I'm gonna review in the next few days. In today's video, guys, as mentioned before, we're gonna compare these two releases coming from Adidas and Nike, which will come at a retail price of £90 for this Adidas Response CL and actually this one was £110, but this one is slightly a bit different comparing with the ones which are available straight away on the Nike website. So this one is not available anymore, but you have other color combinations at that retail price of £100. So most definitely they are actually quite close in the actual retail prices and also in the materials used for both upper and midsoles as well. So in case you are a regular to the channel, guys, you've probably seen my top 10 most comfortable releases for 2023, and these two actually made that list, and it was mainly because they are actually quite cheap, I would say, and also the material used for the upper and midsoles are actually good as well, which will give it a very good level of comfort. So these two, in my opinion, are direct competitors on the market, which are available straight away. This one, it's still available on the Adidas website for the retail price of £90, whilst this one was dropped around 3 or 4 months ago for the retail price of £110, and it's not available anymore, but you have other color combinations which are available at £100. I need to mention is that this Adidas release will have this Cordura materials. Of course, for both releases I dropped some individual reviews, and I will leave some links in the description down below to check them out later. So this Response CL will actually be slightly a bit different comparing with the normal Response CL releases. This one will have this Cordura materials, which will be slightly a bit stiffer. The actual mesh material, which is actually quite soft for this Response CL, will be changed with this slightly harder mesh material. But even though this one will be slightly a bit stiffer, it's still quite comfy and squishy in the same time. But I would say that for this P-6000 coming from Nike, besides this color combination, the materials are roughly almost the same all of the time. So I would say that for both releases, guys, coming from Adidas and Nike, we're gonna have a base layer made out of a mesh material, which on top will have some overlay made out of some leather, suede and no-back material as well. In the midfoot, of course, both of them will have their branding quite obvious. The lacing system will have roughly the same laces for both of these releases. The tongues as well will have a good amount of padding, which will sit quite nice on top of your foot. But I would say that a slightly different fit will come for this Response CL, which will have some extra padding here at the back of the foot, which will keep your foot quite good in place. While for the Nike P-6000, it will be slightly smaller, but I didn't find that this one will slip out of my feet. And going now to the actual midsole, guys, you can see that for this Response CL, this one will be slightly a bit higher, and this one will have EVA midsole actually, which I would say that will be slightly a bit more heavier than this P-6000, which will have this foam which seems a bit lighter. But even though these two releases are actually quite new on the market, both of them will borrow some elements from the early 2000s running shoes. So for sure, for both upper and midsoles, the retro designs would actually be quite visible. Going now to the actual rubber outsole, guys, both of them will have roughly the same design. So we're gonna have a hard rubber in a black color, and we're gonna have a lot of this foam exposed for both of them, which for sure will let them flex a bit more. As in for the actual fit, guys, both of them will fit true to size for skinny feet, which I have, and also for normal feet as well. But just in case you have wide feet, for sure you'll need to go for both of them with at least a half size up, just to make sure that this one is not going to be too tight for you. So overall, guys, I would say that even though both of them will have roughly the same materials and the same level of comfort, in my opinion, I think that the winner for today will be this pair of Nike P-6000, which feels slightly a bit lighter than this Response CL. But that's gonna be the only thing which makes this Nike P-6000 a winner for today. I would say that for this Response CL, the other releases which will not include this Cordura material won't make this shoe as heavy. So even though both of them will have roughly the same materials, I just feel that this foam midsole coming from Nike will be slightly a bit more comfortable than this EVA coming from Adidas. So in the end, I would say that we don't actually have a winner by a big difference, but in my opinion they are both great releases which are coming at a very good price on the market, which is very competitive. And I would say that I didn't find anything coming from New Balance or Puma bringing roughly the same materials. So I would say that these two are actually quite close as competitors. So that pretty much sums it up, guys, for today, where we had this head-to-head comparison between this Adidas Response CL and this Nike P-6000, with the winner being this P-6000. I really hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to press the like button, maybe also subscribe to the channel. You can also give me a follow on Instagram and TikTok to see exactly what I'm going to review in the next few days. Of course, if you want to have a look at my individual reviews for both these shoes which we had a look at today, you can choose from the videos which you have now on the screen. And as usual, I will see you in my next one. Thanks for watching!